A new classical orchestra will make its debut in a free concert this Sunday at the Cathedral Church of St. Paul on Tremont Street. To tell us about the Eureka Ensemble are the music director, Kristo Kondakci, and the co-founder, Alan Toda-Ambaras. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.
I want to start with Kristo. Talk about the purpose, because this is not just about playing music.
Well, we founded the Eureka Ensemble specifically with the mission to use classical music as a platform for social action and community engagement. And the way we've envisioned doing that is to create projects in partnership with different kinds of social service organizations and find ways to use music to either address those causes, raise funds, awareness, you name it.
Well, I think one of the organizations you're paired off with, and this might sound unlikely to a lot of you, you have a source of affordable food in Dorchester near Cobden Square.
The Daily Table, exactly. So we're working on a partnership with the Eradicate Childhood Obesity Foundation, the Daily Table, Music for Food, all these different organizations focused around nutrition and access to food.
Alan Toda-Ambaras said, talk about your pathway to setting up this organization.
Sure, yeah. Well, so Kristo and I became friends during our time at the New England Conservatory. But before that, I had been involved in another organization that I helped co-found, and that's called Project Lens. We do a lot of interdisciplinary programming as well, with a focus on pairing music performance, classical music performance, with subjects in philosophy, visual art, science, and so that had been going on for a few years. And so when I met Kristo and we started to get along and do projects together, we found that we were of like mind on this.
Well, we'll talk about how could music do something with science. What do you think of?
Well, I mean, there are many ways of going about it, and I have quite a few colleagues who are exploring that path. But in my life and in my work, we've tended to bring in speakers, scientists, professors who are very knowledgeable about one particular field, and then my musician colleagues and I, we'd craft some kind of a program that shows conceptual connections to science, whether it be the parallels between the evolution from single-cellular to multicellular organisms alongside the evolution of string quartet, for instance, and the different roles that instruments play. And that's just one example of a program we did in the past. But you know, I've tended to really enjoy that kind of exploration of what kinds of connections could be made between music and other fields.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Kristo Kondakci and Alan Toda-Ambaras from the Eureka Ensemble. Kristo, talk about the program you got planned on Sunday, because there's some very familiar mainstream classics and there's some new stuff too.
Well, the program for Sunday doesn't really involve the social service aspect. It's the focus of the concert is to present our stunning roster of musicians. And I'm very happy to say, actually, both Alan and I are there. We have 42 musicians in the orchestra, and they're all our closest friends and colleagues. And the program is a piece by Respighi. Do you know Arduino Respighi, the Italian?
Yes, Italian composer, 20th century.
3 Botticelli pictures. Do you know that work?
I don't know that one. That's one, yeah.
Well, he came on a visit to the United States, and Eleanor Roosevelt Coolidge, or Coolidge Roosevelt, depending on which family name you want to take first, became enraptured with him. And he wrote this piece for her. And she flew to Italy to hear its premiere. He was so taken by 3 specific paintings by Botticelli. One of them, which is open for view at the MFA right now. So Primavera, The Birth of Venus, and The Adoration of the Magi. And set it in a stunning orchestration for chamber orchestra. It's almost never played except the second movement, which you hear with the Boston Pops every now and then.
And you're doing the Beethoven 7th?
Beethoven 7th. What better way is there to start an orchestra than with that opening chord of the Beethoven 7th? Open, bright, energetic, jubilant.
And it's about the closest thing to a dance symphony you wrote to.
It's completely a dance symphony, don't you think? Yeah. Do you know its premiere? It was Beethoven's most successful premiere.
They asked for one movement to be played over again because it was just such
it was performed, I think, 4 times in the first month. And its premiere was given for wounded soldiers coming back from the Battle of Hanau, which was thwart by the Bavarian and Austrian soldiers of Napoleon's forces retreating. And everyone was ready to hear this new symphony by Beethoven, which was all about jubilant exuberance and joy and dance in this time of war, sadness, depression.
Yeah, I want to talk about the part of the mission here, which I think must be bringing in a new audience and making new contacts with people. How does that motivate the musicians?
Well, I can start by talking about how it motivated us, of course. I mean, we felt that as musicians, it's kind of a natural role for us to serve as ambassadors and emissaries for classical music and art in general. So, and that's something that is fundamental to, I think, the role of any musician anywhere, to connect with people. So our projects, whether it be the nutrition project that Kristo was talking about, or anything else that we do, it is about building bridges and going into new communities where people are actually very receptive to music of all kinds to begin with, and it's just a question of tapping into these hitherto untapped communities.
Kristo, we should make sure people know about Sunday, so exactly what time is this going to be?
It's 7 p.m. at St. Paul's Cathedral in Boston, 138 Tremont Street.
And of course, if they want any more information about this event or anything happening down the line, you've got some place online where they can look for that?
EurekaEnsemble.org.
All right, thank you both very much for being with us. Kristo Kondakci and Toda-Ambaras.